You didn't quit. You're really like against all odds. You're doing something that no one in the family's done, that none of your friends have done.
I'm just gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Whatever is mine is looking for me.
You have to know what road to take to get to your final destination.
Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear.
Good evening. Happy Sunday. So, Latto's pregnant. Did you see? I saw. I mean, honestly, the internet would not allow me to ignore the situation because it's everywhere. So, Latto officially confirmed that she is pregnant with her first child. I've been seeing rumors for months that this girl is pregnant, and I kept denying the rumors because I'm like, no, big mama, no kids, right person, right time. So I'm like, no, like that's a bold statement to put out here in your song, in your lyrics. So I'm thinking like, no, she not pregnant. She's pregnant. The internet is calling her a bird. The internet is saying that she has laid eggs, not in a nest, because these are the type of birds that are on the ground. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's pregnant. And then I'm like, no, she's not pregnant. But then I'm like, I couldn't get past 21 Savage's hand. That's what it was for me. Because I'm like, she's been kind of feeding into the rumors in a jokingly way, right? Like she wore a fake belly and everything. So I'm like, I'm still like kind of giving doubt. And then when I saw the hand, I was like, oh, so the rumors are true. The rumors are true. So after months of fans in the internet speculating on whether or not Latto was pregnant, she finally decided to reveal as a part of her album rollout, which her album it is going to release May 29th of this year, titled Big Mama. Now, honestly, I'm just going to be honest with you all. This is the worst time to get pregnant. I don't care what anyone says. This is the worst time to get pregnant. It's not even the fact that she's pregnant by a married man. I mean, that's a big issue, but it's like this is the worst time to get pregnant. The absolute worst time to be pregnant. We just have to call a thing a thing. This is the worst time to get pregnant, ladies. If you did not know, I'm here to tell you this is not the time to get pregnant. This is not the time to be out here playing with your life at all. It's just not a good time. It doesn't matter if you're single, married, whether you're in a committed relationship or not. It's just not a good time to get pregnant right now. That's where I'm at with it. I'm like, girl, why? 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 Why are we getting pregnant right now? That's what it is for me. So apparently, she's pregnant by rapper 21 Savage, who has a wife and 3 kids, one by another woman outside of his marriage. And y'all know how I feel about getting pregnant by a man and you're the third baby mama. Because remember, I said, okay, you become a baby mama, you're his first one, he switched up. Okay, grace. I could even give the second baby mama grace. Why? She took a chance. She dated a man with a child, right? And then she ended up the second baby mama. The third is where I draw the line, and there's just no excuse for me. Like, that's what it really is. It's like, I can be reasonable. I can be understanding. I mean, I'm out here dealing with these men too, occasionally. But when you're runner up for the third one, I'm looking at you more because I'm just like, what? What thought process did you have in your mind that made you stupid enough to believe that you wouldn't be the next one? One, two, three. Like if we were to play a game and it was all about strategy and being able to predict the outcome, and the man has two baby mamas, I'm automatically assuming that I would be the third one. I would be the third one. What would make me feel like I wouldn't be the third one? What would make me feel like I'm above that experience if he made the first one a baby mama and the second one? But wait, he didn't make, in this scenario, in this dynamic, it wasn't that he made another woman a baby mama. He made the second baby mama out of his marriage baby mama. So Latto, I'm like, girl, what? Make it make sense. Girl. So what you think you about to be? You think you about to be the main one? You think you about to take the wife's replacement? Now, I didn't come here for this. I actually came here to talk about self-worth. This really exposes Lotto's self-worth. It really, in a very sad way. It's very sad. Lotto is trying to win a man that is already divided. I've seen countless of your faves make this choice where a man's energy, his time, his value, anything that's worth having when it comes to him being in your life is already divided. Do you know what that means? It means you get crumbs. It means you have to fight for a place in his life. It means that you get the leftovers. It means that you get the scraps. That's what it means. And it seems like a lot of your faves, I'm not even going to say any names, but a lot of your faves keep settling for the scraps. Like they're not this big famous celebrity, like they don't have enough money, enough resources. It's just crazy to me. I don't understand it. And listen, I'm not making excuses. I'm not making excuses. But the women from back in the day when Shirley used to live on the other side of town and Barbara, she used to live on the other side, right? It was the reason why women used to deal with married men back in the day. It was because of survival. It was literally because of money. Women couldn't get their own home, or women couldn't find some another suitor to support them so that they could have some type of status in society just to make it. Like that's what it's really about. But these women are just getting pregnant just to get pregnant. It's not a means of survival. It's not. Unless you broke, Lotto, unless you telling me something I don't know. But I mean, it's like, what's the purpose and reason for women like a Lotto? What's the reason for you getting pregnant? Are you hurting for money? Do you need a check? I'm confused. Is this really about the bag? Because at least back then, when Barbara and Shirley, I'm telling you, when Barbara and Shirley used to live across town, that's what it was about. So let's go back to Lotto's childhood, because y'all know I like to do a deep dive.
Latto 50-50, the majesty of my city. I sacrificed, so did my mother, pregnant with a daughter. Abort that mutt is what they told her.
So I was like, okay, she's pregnant by this married man. This started somewhere. And when you know the story behind Lotto, how she came up with her stage name, the original stage name, you really start to understand that her self-worth is in the gutter. That she struggles with identity issues. She struggles with most likely mommy issues, daddy issues. She doesn't understand her worth, her place in the world. And a lot of it has to do with her mother getting pregnant by a black man while her mother was white. And she struggles a lot with this. Okay. Now, it's really looking like history is repeating itself. And y'all know I like to talk about that too, because I talk about generational cycles. So let's play that again.
Latto 50-50, the majesty of my city. I sacrifice, so did my mother, pregnant with a daughter. Abort that mutt is what they told her. My mom was pregnant with me when she was 15 years old. She went to a majority white school, so of course, you know, her being 15 years old, pregnant by a black man, that was just too much for them to handle. Remember getting bullied over what I had no control.
So her mom was 15 years old. Her mom was told to abort her. So now we understand why she didn't take the money to go get an abortion. She probably did it. She probably kept this child because her mother was told the same thing. And then she probably reflected over the situation, was like, well, my mom, she could have aborted me. So I'm not going to abort my child. Look at me. Look at what I've become. Look at what I've made my life out to be. Right.
Took that and took off. Now I'm proud to be mulatto. So I don't know.
Some strong words.
I don't think that Latto is truly over her childhood. I don't believe she's over the stories her mother told her about having a baby by a black man. I don't believe that she has truly moved past it at all. And I believe that that's how she ended up in this situation. And we're going to get into her self-worth because subconsciously she is tied to being the one who stayed or survived the drama of a married man. Like, she wants to be the last woman standing. She is fighting for this position in this man's life. Like, that's what this is all about. She wants to win at all cost. So she feels, or she has like this twisted value in her own suffering. This is my opinion. Based off of what I'm looking at, like, she has this twisted way of viewing her value, and it has a lot to do with her suffering. Now, why? Because she feels the need to prove herself to this married man in order to have a position in his life. This is why she prides herself off of the title Big Mama, because she feels superior to her competitors, like the wife. Because she can't say wifey, or she can't say anything like that, or Latto would, but she can't say that. So she decided to go with Big Mama. Not only did she take Big Mama from a place of competing with other women like a pick me, but she also spoke being a single mother over her life because she was desperately looking to be titled above the wife and the other child's mother that 21 Savage had a baby by. So she referred to herself as Big Mama. Is it shocking that we're here today and she's pregnant? No, it's really not, because you have to understand her mindset. You have to really understand her mindset. She believed that she would be the better woman in this dynamic where the man has already divided his energy and time to multiple women, but she felt like she was better. So she titled herself Big Mama. And it led to her own suffering, because not only is it the worst time to get pregnant, but now you're pregnant by a married man. Because I know a lot of girls, and we're going to get into it because now this has turned into a whole debate on social media about child-free women are secretly jealous of women with children. And I partially agree with that. Okay. As a child-free woman myself, I partially agree with that, but I'm going to get into that later. So Latto, and this is strictly my opinion, she has the belief that if she can endure this much pain and still be here, then she must be worth more than the others. And what I mean by that is, if she can endure whatever it takes to be with 21 Savage, then she feels that she's worthy and she is better than the other women in this very interesting and drama chaotic dynamic. Okay, so she has this self-worth of being heavily sacrificial, and she confuses it for strength when really she's just a doormat. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm calling a thing a thing. When you don't have boundaries and when you put yourself in a position where you're competing for a spot that's already taken, and you're competing for a man that's already divided, the only type of suffering that you're doing is causing you to self-sacrifice. You're confusing that for strength when really you're just a doormat. This man is getting his way with you. That's all that it is. So he'll let you believe that you're stronger, that, oh, I like you more, or I want to be with you more, or I label you or deem you as more worthy than the others. And he'll feed into that, which is partially feeding into your delusion about the reality of the situation, being pregnant or dealing with a married man. He'll feed into whatever delusion that you have told yourself in order to be in this relationship with this man. He'll feed into it. And I believe that that's what 21 Savage has done. But the entire time, Latto was just being a doormat, where this man can walk all over her, get his way, get a baby out of her. And I believe that he also impregnated her on purpose. He impregnated her on purpose. You telling me that you got women out here screaming from the mountaintops, big mama, and you don't think 21 Savage was feeling some type of way? Like, what? Big mama? I got you in the back of my pocket. I got a wife. I got 3 kids. I got another woman outside of my relationship that I had a baby with. And you out here talking about some big mama. I'm gonna impregnate you and humble your ass. That's what I'm gonna do. Why not? So I can gain some type of leverage publicly over you. I'm gonna impregnate you. You're not about to walk around talking about some big mama, and I gotta look to my friends and my peers in the rap industry, and they think that you got something over me. So I'm going to put a leverage over you, and it's called pregnancy. And that's what happened. So he made her look like a fool. 21 Savage made her look like a fool. And I believe that Latto is gonna lose a lot of fans, a lot of lottery ticket fans or stands, because it's like, girl, you don't rap what you talk, like you don't live what you rap about. And there's a loss of respect that comes with that. Because I've been seeing the girls talk about the only one we got left is Megan the Stallion. The only one we got left is Megan the Stallion. Yeah, the only one you got left is Megan the Stallion. That's the only one you got left. And I hope Megan doesn't get caught up. But a part of me really be feeling like Megan, she really do what she says she do. And you want to know why? Because if you really watch Megan closely, the way she moves like her lyrics. She do. Not perfect. Just I'ma do me, and I'm doing it when I want to do it. If I want to do it, and if I don't want to do it, then I'm not doing it. And yeah, that's it. It really do seem like she do live in the way that she raps. It do. From the outside looking in. I could be wrong. But also, let's get back to Latto's self-worth. So Latto's self-worth is also believing having a piece of a high earning man is better than having a regular man. And I know a lot of girls are dragging Latto, but a lot of you would fall for this. No shade. I don't feel like it's my light keepers, but the culture and the culture of women, because every day on these apps we hear women talk about, all he has to have is money. All he has to have is money. All he has to do is pay for this and pay for that, 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 pay for this and pay for that. Okay, well then you're easily bought. A married man can easily buy you. Men are always looking to see what your price is. They're always looking to see, what is your price? Every woman has a price. Every woman does. I tell my stories all the time about married men. They lead with their pockets. They just want to know what your price is, and that's it. So a lot of women would fall for this. It's not Latto. A lot of women would fall for this. A man leading with his pockets, promising you to buy this, him giving you his credit card. Hell, we saw Desmond. I'm going to talk about him next. Desmond Scott. Take the credit card, buy what you want to buy. There's no limit. Just get what you want to get. A lot of women would fall for this. It wouldn't be hard. All the man got to do is pull out his wallet, and that's it. However, when it comes to Lotto and her self-worth, she has scarcity mindset when it comes to love. She doesn't believe that she could get better than a 21 Savage, which is actually sad. This girl is beautiful. She's talented. I feel like for everything that she has gone through in her life, I feel like she could have done way better for herself. I think a lot of us feel that way. That 21 Savage was her really picking and choosing from a man from the old Lotto or the Lotto before she became Lotto and Big Mama. She chose this man from a self-esteem of her childhood, a self-esteem of a little girl who hasn't been seen, heard, felt, and the little girl in her that really hasn't been loved. Because if she has, she wouldn't be viewing love as a scarcity or as scarce at all. She would understand that love can be abundant for her. But I don't think that's something that she's ever really experienced though. And it seems like the only time that she got love was when she got fame. So she's still I'm talking about the Lotto before fame. The Lotto before fame still lives within her. And so she still views love as scarce. So she settled for a married man and how his love is divided among 3 kids and 2 other women, making her the 3rd woman. And that's what she settled for. She settled for scraps as if she's still the little Lotto from when her mother had her at 15 years old.
You know, so many people doubted me. So many people doubt you. Oh, she's not gonna be able to do this. She's a mutt. Oh, she can't do this. And then, you know, being in the industry, it just turned up the pressure like times 10.
I don't think Lotto's self-esteem and self-worth, I don't think she's grown out of proving herself. And I feel like that has translated into her love life as well, where she feels the need to compete and she feels the need to prove. I believe that her whole life and a huge part of her identity as a mixed black and white girl, that she still struggles with trying to prove, fit in, be accepted, to be loved, to be seen, to be heard, to be known, and to also be loved. So like she's still struggling with these things. Now listen, when it comes to these deep dives, I'm not making excuses for these people. I'm deep diving to reveal things that maybe you didn't even realize about yourself, or maybe you don't understand about other people. It's not to excuse people's behavior, because ultimately this was a choice of her. I feel like when you're a woman and you get married by a married man, that is a choice. That is a real choice that you're making with your life. And I hope you understand what you're truly signing up for, because you will never be priority. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. His time will always be split. So she has also made her self-worth very transactional and competitive. So her self-worth is transactional, competitive. So she believes she won a prize, and she doesn't believe that she's enough on her own. And there's a lot of women that don't believe that they're enough on their own. Because at this point in the game, we talking about 2026, What are you really fighting for, though? Like when women are saying, I need men for this and I need men for that and I need men for money and do you really, or are you just making men a priority in your life in that way? Because I feel like in 2026, women have choices. So you're making that a choice. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, but you're making that a choice. So you could choose differently for yourself.
It is a tale as old as time. The woman
Oh my God, can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear this? Let me know.
is always the one that is to blame. We can equally say that a married man had a child outside of his marriage, and this is the type of man that young men are looking up to, and we are indeed doomed, right?
Okay,
It
so
is a tale as old as time. The woman is always the one that is to blame.
so this content creator, she brought up a good point. She's saying that women are always the one to blame when it comes to dynamics like this. Okay, I don't know who this guy is, but apparently he got a bunch of baby mamas and a bunch of kids himself. So for him to speak on Lotto is outrageous. It is. However, okay, I feel split on this topic, right? So he said Lotto just announced she's pregnant by a married man with 3 kids and made it a part of her album rollout. And that's who today's women look up to. We're doomed. We are cooked. I'm gonna call it what it is. We are cooked because the Houston spring break here, and I'm still trying to decide if I'm doing a video because I had some boots on the ground journalism. Yeah, I pulled out my phone so y'all could see what the hell I was looking at. I wasn't seeing what the Daisy Dukes where it's the cookie cutter shorts. I'm seeing bare ass at a family event. Bare ass. That's what I saw. So when people be like, "Oh, the women of today are cooked," we are, because I'm like, what the hell? At a family event with kids, I'm seeing kids and ass, kids and ass, kids and ass, and turkey legs. It was a mess, and it wasn't just black women. Social media wants to just make it seem like it was just black women. It wasn't. There are a lot of Hispanic women down here. It wasn't just black women. All right. So let me go. It was crazy. I was like, what the hell? And I'm thinking to myself, like, I've been wanting to bring my parents to the rodeo, but I'm like, hell no. I don't want them around. It's embarrassing when you take your parents to certain environments and it's like, it's given like after hours, young adult type stuff. And then you got your old parents there. And it just makes everything so much more uncomfortable because you already know how older people are, you know? So I'm just like, damn, I don't think I could take them to the rodeo. I don't want to be put in a position where I gotta explain. You know what I mean? It's a mess. Listen, I don't see anything wrong with you wanting to wear your booty out when you're like at a beach at an all adults resort, the club. Um, I feel like those spaces are cool. I'm not about to sit up here and act like the old folks or the grown folks, they weren't out here living a life. They were, but they respected environments. They understood time and a place. It's not that they weren't doing it. Hell, they were doing that, crack, and all type of stuff. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. But they understood time and the place. That's what the young people are not understanding. So you're making everybody uncomfortable because it's just like, can my kids are seeing that? And then we talk about the Epstein files. They want to normalize touching kids and unaliving kids and things like that. And I'm like, hell no, we have to protect children. So we can't be mixing environments where there are kids with provocative attire, y'all. Like that's where I draw the line. So the culture is trying to normalize things that don't need to be normalized. Because if you give this culture an inch, it will run a mile. So if we're talking about the Epstein files, and then they already came out with that reality TV show about age attraction. And I feel like that reality show is a test to see how the culture reacts. We got to be smarter than that. But let me get back to this. Okay. So basically, what this creator is saying is that women are often to blame. And the reason I feel split with this is because, on one hand, yeah, there are times where women are blamed and it really isn't their fault. Like, honestly. Then there are other times where a woman should take partial blame and accountability, and the man should be taking partial blame and accountability. But then there's this other part of me that's been growing louder every year that sometimes I feel like women don't want to be responsible for the fact that you are the gatekeepers of life. That you don't understand your worth so much to the point where you don't want to own the responsibility of being able to be the gatekeeper of life. You are the gatekeeper of life. There's a lot of power that comes with that. There's a lot of responsibilities that come with that. There's a lot that weighs on your shoulders. That sometimes when I hear women complain, every time this is brought up, it's almost like you don't want to be accountable for the fact that you are the gatekeeper of life. Men are the gatekeepers of commitment in marriage. And one thing that I'm consistently seeing in the culture currently right now is that women will give men the key to the gate. Hell, some of these men could just they could just walk right on in. You don't got to check them. You don't got to vet them. You don't got to have a conversation with them. They just walk right on in the gate. They just walk right on in. But then men, see, this is what really ticks me off a lot. Men make you go through hoops, obstacles. You got to prove yourself. You got to prove your worth. They ask you questions like, well, what do you bring to the table? Do you keep yourself up? What size dress do you wear? And then on the other hand, women are literally the gatekeepers of life. Life. To me, that's a bigger responsibility than marriage and commitment. You're the gatekeepers of life. And there's no, he has to prove he's a good man. He has to prove that he would be a good father consistently through his behavior. These men just walking right on in. They just walk right on in the gate. Right on in. And some of these men are sick in the head. They touch kids. So it's just like we are responsible for that. And it's like sometimes it's like I be like, damn, maybe women just don't want that responsibility. Maybe women today just don't want that responsibility. And I'm like, why not? That's what makes us powerful. Why do we not want that responsibility? Why do we not see the power in the accountability? Why do we just revert to shame immediately? So that's my issue with this whole thing. Ugh, wrong messenger, but right message though. Right message, wrong person. So, like I said, I feel split. There are times where women are not to blame. The man truly is the one to blame. You did your gatekeeping, you vetted, you did everything that you needed to do, everything that you could do on your part, and he switched up. Okay, I'll give you that. Then on the other hand, there's partial accountability, partial responsibility, partial blame. And it shouldn't be just the woman only taking it. And then on another hand, some of these women just don't want the responsibility of being a gatekeeper of life. And I think as women, we need to just accept that about some women. And how do I accept it? When I see a woman get pregnant, I say congratulations and I move on with my life. I'm not about to stress about what the next woman is choosing to do. I'm not. It's hard. I get it. Why? Because it causes issues in the culture, it causes issues in the community. When women don't gatekeep thoroughly, it causes a lot of problems. So I get it. But I'm not about to stress about another woman and what she's choosing for herself. I'm just not. Once the baby is in the belly, I'm moving on. That's just how I am. I'm not about to be concerned. Hell, she the one that got to get up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. with no help. I don't got to do that. Hell, I'm rolling over in my bed and doing what I do. Sleeping. Good. So no, I don't care about that. So another thing too, because this was on my threads, and I don't know why, but child-free women, we was getting attacked. We was getting, I don't understand. So, okay, so the post, if you could see, the original post is unavailable. Now, I don't know if it was because of my comment or because she started getting dragged, but there was a girl that decided to make a post on Threads, basically using Latto as the example of child-free women are really jealous of women with kids. Now, I partially agree with that. There are some women that are child-free that are jealous of women with kids. I mean, this is the internet. There are all type of people exist in this world. So no, there are women out here that are absolutely jealous and envious of women with kids. But that's not Latto. Latto wasn't jealous and envious of women with kids. Latto is the type of woman that was child free with no purpose. And let me explain. You have two different type of child free women. And I'm gonna tell you the ones that keep getting pregnant, right? The ones that brag, I'm not a baby mama, I don't have no kids. You know, there's two different types, and I need you to understand. Listen to me clearly when I say this, okay? You got two different types, right? You have the one that's child free in purpose, and then you have the one that's child free, and she just hasn't gotten pregnant. No purpose whatsoever. She just hasn't gotten pregnant, okay? She has not gone through with pregnancy for whatever reason. So you have on one hand the child-free woman within purpose. She's choosing to be child-free and it's purposeful for her. It's real. It's a choice. She chooses it daily by her choices and decisions that she makes. She's not out here casually having sex. She's not out here having sex unprotected. She probably not even out here having sex at all. She probably not even dating right now because in order to date nowadays, you have to have sex. She probably not out here dating right now because it ain't a good time to get pregnant and take the risk to be pregnant. So you have that child-free woman who's in purpose with her choice. And then you have the other child-free woman that's not in purpose. She didn't really choose this for herself. She's not making it a conscious choice. So that's the difference. And those are the type of women, in my opinion, that are going to be more prone to jealousy and envy when it comes to women with kids because there's no purpose in what they're doing. There's no purpose in the fact that they don't have any kids. It's just where they are in life. And that's it. But for the rest of us, there's real purpose in it. We're seeing the things going on in the world. Economically, it's not looking good at all. The United States is the one to be held, to me, the most accountable in the situation. So that means on this soil, on this land, it's probably not a good idea, especially when we're making enemies with a lot of countries, to get pregnant right now. It's just not smart. Nothing makes sense anymore. Everything is uncertain. Everything. I mean, the price of eggs is uncertain. The price of milk is uncertain. A box of cereal and the price of that is uncertain. Gas is uncertain. Too many things are uncertain. So there are women out here that are choosing to be child free and it is purposeful. It is truly, truly purposeful. But Latto, there was no purpose at all. She was just waiting to be picked. She was waiting to be chosen by a married man. And I said, no one is envious These are the type of women that just want that man more than not becoming a baby mama. That's it. So the women that have no purpose in being child free, they want the man more. They are pick-me's and they're self-centered. It's just doormat. They tend to cloak themselves really well with this confidence about how they're not a baby mama. But deep down, if it came down to it, they want that man more than not becoming a baby mama. And then you have the women that are rooted in purpose when it comes to not having kids, and they want peace more than becoming a baby mama. And that's the difference. So this girl, she was projecting her weird ass assumptions on a celebrity through a song that she doesn't even know. So that's Latto. Latto is the type of girl that was child free and she was bop 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 living her life, but she had self-worth that was in the gutter, that she hadn't done any internal work on herself. And ladies, I've said this and I will continue to say this. There is real purpose in working on yourself. There is real purpose in doing shadow work and doing the inner work, because I would hate for the internal parts of yourself to sabotage the external parts of yourself, like the success, the climb to fame, or whatever greatness that you have going on. I would hate for all your internal workings to come and just sabotage it all. So there is real purpose in doing work on yourself. Don't ever think that you're doing it for nothing, you're wasting your time, or "Oh, no one else is doing it," or "I feel like the girls that are not doing it, they're getting everything that they want." But I keep seeing women who get the things that they want, but they also are sabotaging themselves in the process. So what I would like to see is, I would like to see women get exactly what they want, exactly what they deserve, but not sabotage it when they receive it. So Lotto is now sabotaging her life. All the hard work. You saw how that girl was tearing up and crying. She said people didn't believe in her. People counted her out. People didn't want to see her where she is today. And now you sabotage yourself because of a married man? Because you didn't think that you were worthy of more? Because your self-worth believes that you have to prove yourself for love. Your self-worth believes that love is scarce, like it's hard to find, or it's going to be hard for you to find. So you settle for a married man who has divided time and attention, that can't give you his all, that can't give your child his all. That's what we're watching. We're watching a woman sabotage. That's what we're watching. So let me play this too.
Until I started healing and pulling back layers.
Oh my gosh, she's low too. Oh my goodness. Why is everybody so low? Can you hear her a little bit? So
I used to think that intensity
can you
meant
hear her?
alignment, and it doesn't. Just because things feel intense and they feel right and it's all of this excitement and, you know, feel goodness to it does not truly mean that it's aligned. And when you are maneuvering still from wounds and from dysfunction and being dysregulated, you will think just because something is intense that it's aligned, that it's the perfect fit, that it's just everything. And I didn't really understand that until God started stripping more of me, until he started opening my eyes more, and until he started showing me what alignment truly means. Because where we fall short and where we mess up is, we'll think that just because something is so grand in the beginning that is aligned, until you start growing, until you start healing, until you start shedding, until you start surrendering, until you start letting go and releasing, you'll start to see how when you start maneuvering on the right path, how that intensity in the beginning is not aligned to who you are becoming. And intensity is loud. It's usually loud. It comes in fast. It's like a
Okay, it is very low. I can't raise the volume, y'all. I may have to do a lunch break combo about this in itself. But basically, what she's saying is not everything that feels intense is aligned. Now, the girls who follow me on Patreon, I've been telling you about 2026. I've been warning you. I've been warning you. Some of you are going to be tested in love, in friendship. Just because it's intense, right? And you feel like, oh my God, it feels like I've known this person my whole life and things like that. You still have to double check to see, is this person in alignment with me? Because if not, then they will change the trajectory of your path. So you got to double check. You can't just assume that because it feels right and it's intense, especially in the beginning, right? And you're having a great time and everything seems to be going so well. Listen, I've lived, I've done it. I know exactly what it's like. It's a great time until it's not, but it is a great time, right? But you have to get to a point where you have worked on yourself enough to know where it leads, and that the intensity is only temporary, that it doesn't last. So you have to make sure that if the intensity runs out, that there is still alignment there. That's what you have to, and see, you got to slow down. You can't rush the process. You can't rush it. You have to slow down. And so I believe that some of this has to do with Latto probably meeting 21 Savage. They're both in the industry. They're both rappers. They both probably have like a struggle story growing up, and they probably connected in some type of way. I mean, a black man from the UK and you're over here in the US as a rapper. I mean, they probably told you you didn't belong, that you're not welcomed here because you're from the UK and you're a rapper. You're trying to make Americanized hip hop music. You know what I mean? So I think that that's how they connected. It was probably very intense in the beginning and it felt right and it felt aligned. But ultimately, it only sabotaged her. So a lot of you are going to be making new friends. You may be putting yourself out there to meet new people. And you may bump into someone that may feel like a soul tribe or may feel like a soul sister or may feel like a soul mate. Don't get me started on the twin flame stuff, y'all, because I just finished watching Sex in the City for the second or third time in my adult life. And Carrie and Big are like a twin flame journey. So if you want to sign up for that, sign up for it. I don't recommend it, but twin flame journeys are like Carrie Bradshaw and Mr. Big. Just go watch Sex in the City, watch it from beginning to end, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But sometimes the intensity can make you feel like it's a soulmate, a soul sister, or whatever the case may be. But you got to vet and make sure. You got to use your discernment. You got to use your discernment. And there should be obvious signs of alignment. Maybe I should do signs. Like, what are signs that you are actually aligned with a person? Maybe I should do a video about that next. Okay, so another thing too is the internet. It seems like none of my videos that I pulled have good volume. I don't know why.
Ladies, I don't care what the internet tells you. We are not normalizing building families, getting pregnant, moving in, having relations with married men. Y'all, this the same internet that got on here and tore Brene up, Clarissa up, and y'all are literally applauding Latto for being pregnant by a man that is not yours. Like, I don't care how many times you have spread your legs for him. At the end of the day, if he's married, he has a covenant on him, and you should not be not only sleeping with him, but having children with him. Like, I don't know what's going on with 2026, but all these relationships popping out thinking that it's cool. It's not cool. Like, what y'all built has been built on the pain of somebody else, have been built on the foundation of somebody else, the hard work of somebody.
And listen, y'all need to tap in and y'all need to tune in for my Desmond Scott video, because I thought about making it on Friday and Saturday, but some told me take a break. So I'm gonna take a break. But I don't know. I may do it tomorrow. or Tuesday, one of those days. But we got to start talking about how when you end a cycle with someone, how you do it matters. And it doesn't matter if it's a friend, and I'm talking about someone that hasn't like betrayed you or anything like that. They haven't done anything to you, right? Maybe you've just outgrown that person, right? How you decide to separate from them matters. Because I would hate for your new beginning to be built on a karmic foundation. And I believe that that's the situation with Desmond Scott. And I believe that that's the situation with Latto, that she is about to build her motherhood foundation on karma.
Else. You literally think that that's gonna last and be successful? Anyways, good luck on being a single mom, Latto. Have a good day, y'all.
And what I mean by karma is karma, all karma is it forces you to see yourself in ways that you don't want to. So it's gonna put you the life, just life, you just live it. It's gonna put you through some extreme things for you to see yourself so that you can start taking accountability over your life. That's all karma does, is it serves accountability. Since you won't take it, by being better and doing better, well, okay, that's fine. Well, I'm just going to serve it to you in a way to where you have no control. So I believe that that's the situation with Latto. She's going to learn some very hard lessons within her motherhood because of how she chose to create this cycle, this new cycle when it comes to her being a mother. Okay, so let me see. And then I wanted to talk about the Gorgeous Doll situation. So, Gorgeous Doll, a few months back, I remember her going viral about how Lotto had gotten her jumped.
Big Lotto is being accused of some big things. Now, there's some woman by the name of Gorgeous Doll. I thought we was putting the dolls to rest, but Jesus, here they are. This woman is coming out, and she's saying that Lotto, this sounds very familiar, like the Cardi B situation, but you'll understand. She claims that Lotto got her jumped.
You admitted to having me jumped when you knew I was pregnant, causing a miscarriage. You just said that the last person who spoke on your man, and who did we say your man was, got jumped outside of a club in Atlanta because you yourself couldn't see me. And I don't know why you would comment that, because win, lose, or draw, like I said, you didn't do shit.
I'm just trying to figure out what will warrant you to get a girl jumped because she's talking about your man. I would
Maybe
think...
And someone just, guilt. And I just, think it's funny.
Sorry, y'all. My my mic was mute. So what I was saying was, again, the Gorgeous Doll situation, it only proves that what I'm saying about Lotto's self-worth, she's in this headspace where she feels like she has to prove herself. She has to fight for her position. She has to compete for her position. So the way the industry has treated her, the way her childhood has treated her, and now relationships with men, there's this consistent pattern. Y'all know how I am about patterns. There's this consistent pattern with every area in her life. She always feels the need to compete and prove. Okay. So I believe that that's the situation as well with Gorgeous Doll. She felt like if she got Gorgeous Doll beat up, then that would prove that she really is down for 21. Like she's the ride or die type for 21 Savage. And there's some clips I've seen of Lotto too, where she talk about my man, my man, my man. I'm big mama this, and this. So yeah, she's competing with these girls, and she saw Gorgeous Doll as a competitor.
And someone just, submitted an admission of guilt. And I just, think it's funny because what you just admitted to, right, is you admitted to having me jumped when you knew I was pregnant, causing a miscarriage, right? You just said that the last person who spoke on your man, and who did we say your man was, got jumped outside of a club in Atlanta because you yourself couldn't see me.
A lot of your faves are pick-me's. I don't know what else to say. Cause to have someone jumped, to have another woman jumped over a man that's actually really not your man, not legally, not legally, it's kind of crazy to me. It's ridiculous, actually. And for it to be Lotto doing this, it's like, girl, do you not know who you are? We know who you are. I mean, you make it seem like you know who you are, but you don't act like it. You don't act like you know who you are at all. So allegedly she forced Gorgeous Doll to have a miscarriage, or she caused Gorgeous Doll to have a miscarriage. So it's just not looking good. It's just not looking good at all. Then I saw this post. The double standards when it comes to social media. Users is calling out the double standard and how Black women are treated when they announce pregnancies outside of marriage. First and foremost, I just have to say this. When it comes to my platform, I keep the same energy. Okay. Hallie, Sky, Lotto, Card, all of them are a mess. They are. They make stupid choices. They make stupid choices. And it's crazy to watch. It's so crazy to watch. Very talented, very successful women. Cardi B has an amazing personality. Lotto has truly proven herself when it comes to her just being a female rapper. Sky Jackson, girl, great actor or actress. Halle Bailey, great songwriter, actress, artist. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But no, all of them are just, I don't know. I don't know. It really gives issues struggling with self-worth, that maybe they put so much focus on their talents and their skills that they didn't put any focus on working on themselves, like really getting clear on who they are and what they are truly worthy and deserving of. And it's just really sad to see, in my opinion. I feel like the double standard can be seen on social media. I definitely see a difference when it comes to Black women who are dark skinned versus light skinned Black women or racially ambiguous women. We just got to call a thing because I'm going to call it out every single time. That if any of these women were unattractive or slightly not sexually appealing, if any of them were of a deeper hue when it comes to their skin complexion, it would be a totally different conversation. So I do see the difference. I feel like culturally, Black women, especially the ones that are dark skinned, are held to different standards. And I mean, I can use the example of these two women here. You have Frankie here, you have Huda here, right? You have these two women. People are making so many excuses for them, that they need to be given grace, that we need to be understanding that they may be going through something mentally, and that they have issues and that they have problems, and yada 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 yada. Right? We see it all the time. But remember when I did a breakdown on Tyra Banks? Remember? And I said, and yes, I'm gonna bring it up every chance I get. I will. I certainly will. So Tyra Banks, she was blamed for an entire reality show she co-produced with two men. One was Asian and one was white. One being an executive producer and the other the CEO of a network, right? She had to follow standards, rules, expectations, and industry norms for a vain show in an industry, she was given no grace. No grace. No grace. But Huda, who has shown her whole ass on reality TV, who has shown her real face on the internet when she laughed at the racial slur. We've seen the video with Taylor Frankie Paul, where she was attacking, I don't even know who this man was, her boyfriend, her child's father, I don't even know. She was attacking this man, and she was so in the zone, probably hot-headed when it came to attacking this man, that she accidentally struck her child. And obviously, her child felt that impact, and she did nothing to ensure that her child was okay. But a Black woman being blamed for an entire reality show where she had to abide by standards, rules, policies, and expectations in a position that was only given to her under the circumstances that she would meet those expectations. She's to blame, and she deserves no grace. So no, when it comes to social media, there's always a double standard when it comes to Black women. However, when it comes to this conversation of women getting pregnant at a time like this, it's truly irresponsible. It's irresponsible. It's not smart. It makes me question, do you really care about your life? Do you care about your life? Do you care about where you're going to be in 10 years? Do you? Do you care? Because if you do, then you wouldn't get pregnant right now. You wouldn't even be out here having casual smacks. You just wouldn't. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You take yourself too serious. You take yourself more serious, and it's just not a time to do any of that. Latto is mixed. I think we're all aware of that. She's mixed. Are the girls calling her back black? Are the girls calling her black? She's mixed. She's mixed with black and white. Okay. So it just seems like she has a lot of issues that she needs to work on within herself, starting with her identity, her self-esteem, and her self-worth. Because there's no woman that has a good level of self-esteem, a good understanding of her self-worth, and a good understanding of who she is that would ever be caught dead in a situation like this. So again, back to what I was saying earlier about, you have two different type of child-free women. You have the women that are truly child-free because they're in it with purpose. And then you have the other women that are child-free and they're not in it with purpose, meaning they don't have a good understanding of who they are. They don't have a good understanding of their self-worth, and they don't have a good understanding of why they're choosing to be child free. And 9 times out of 10 is because they don't have a good understanding of their self identity, and they don't have a good understanding of their self-worth. And so they're going to accidentally find themselves in situations like this. So if you don't want to be those women, let's get to doing the work. Let's get to the shadow work. It's fun. I don't understand why the girls don't want to do it. Romanticize it. I mean, you romanticize girl dinners. You romanticize going to the gym. You romanticize going and getting your nails done, going and getting your hair done, going and getting facials and things like that. Why can't we romanticize doing some shadow work? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So if you're interested in shadow work, all of that is going to be on my Patreon. So I'm going to be doing some more videos on shadow work. Currently on there's a pattern recognition video. Highly recommend that video so you can see why you make the choices that you make and why you keep getting the outcome and the same results that you're getting, because you're not identifying the pattern, the consistent pattern that's over your life that's leading to the same outcomes. So I would recommend that you start there. That's a good place to start, is being able to recognize the patterns over your life that keep leading you to the same outcome, the same experiences, where your life is just consistently in a loop. and things just repeat. And spiritually, that's a lesson that needs to be learned, but for whatever reason, you're not grasping it. That's what that is. So that's all that I have regarding this video. Let me know, should I do EJ Johnson next? It kind of ties in with this video because we need to talk about identity. Huge. We need to talk about that. And I feel like EJ Johnson is having some type of identity crisis moment. And then should I talk about Desmond Scott? How to end cycles with friends, marriage, relationships amicably so that you don't have to have a new beginning with lingering karmic energy, because that is important. Let me know. Let me know which one. Comment down below. Give the video a thumbs up on what. Oh, I would say thumbs up the video if you want to see EJ Johnson first. Okay. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope to see you in my next one.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.